Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? It's Agent One here. Hope you're all doing fine yourselves, because I know I am. Today, I'll be doing part 2 to What If Izuku Was Sonic. Now, last time we left off, Izuku and his dad got into a very small confrontation. With with Ida's dad swinging at Izuku and Izuku simply dodging. That's pretty much about it. Izuku also completely speed blitzed the what is it called? Battle trial test. He speed blitzed that, and then of course he got 100 something points on the entrance exam. And now we continue with this part. So we continue where we left off. Izuku of course would have went to sleep after his dad tried to hit him, and well, Izuku would have went to sleep. He would have went to sleep, woke up the next morning, and him and Ida would have been on their way to school. Now, they would have walked to school. Izuku would have gotten at least like a bag of hot dogs, like in a paper bag. I would say around 3 of them. He would have eaten one on their way to the train station, eaten one at the train station, and then when they get out of the train and on their way to school, Izuku would be eating his final one. But on their way to the actual school building itself, Ida would ask Izuku if him and his dad really got into a fight. Izuku, while eating his hot dog, he would chew and swallow and say, "How do you know about that?" Ida would simply say that his brothers saw it and told him about it. Izuku would say, "Of course he did." As Ida would turn to Izuku, lightly yelling at Izuku that he needs to let things go and stop resenting their father. Izuku wouldn't get upset, but he would just simply look over at Ida and say that it's his father. That it's his father and his mother. His mom is gone, and it's his dad's fault. He has no problem with Ida's mom, or Tenya, or I forgot Ida's brother's name. Not Tenya, Tai something, or not Ida's brother, Ida's mom. There's no problem with him, but it's his father that he resents. So he'll resent him as long as he can. Ida sort of just not scoffs, but just grunts as he turns away and they continue to walk. As they would get into class and as they would get into class, and the next day, they would get into class, and for the first thing oh my god, if I stutter one more goddamn, they get into class. During their class, Aizawa would walk in as he would say the same thing. They had to choose a class representative. Now it would be chosen as Izuku and Momo. Actually, no, it would be Izuku and a tie between Ida and Momo. The reason for it is Izuku, he has the vote of Ida, Momo. No, shit, not Momo. He has the vote of Ida, Mina, Ochako, and Sato, and then also himself. And after that, Ida has the vote of Izuku and Uraraka, and also Mina and Sato. But not for himself. He didn't choose for himself, so he only has 4. And Momo has 2. So, yeah. It's crazy how everybody voted for themselves. That was such a dumbass move. But anyway, Izuku would have taken up his mantle as a class president. Not seriously, he'd be like, hell yeah, president. So during his time as president, not during his time as president, as basically, they would just be around the entire day, as Izuku and his 2 other vice presidents would just be walking around with their entire friend group. And also Izuku would have talked to Momo to get to know her better. But beyond that, they would just be at lunch. The alarms would blare off, and the alarms would blare off. It would be a third-year student would simply say that this alarm has never went off before. Everyone would get scared and begin to run out the building. So now here's the main factor. Izuku, who is like 5 foot exactly, is now getting pushed around by people who are taller than him significantly. He has no way to get to Uraraka or even reach above any of these people. Ida, who is like 6'7" or some shit, is basically who towers over Izuku, honestly, is now has the ability to get to Uraraka. So basically what's happening is Izuku is getting pushed around, Uraraka is also getting squished, and Ida sees Uraraka and reaches out his hand to her. What Izuku does, Izuku sees this, and he basically, he prepares his leg and jumps into the air, or uses his speed and jumps into the air. So he springs into the air, lands on top of the ceiling, springs off the ceiling, off the glass, and pushes Uraraka forward for her to get grabbed by Ida, or for her and Ida to touch their hands. Uraraka would almost get trampled until Izuku would run forward and grab her and move her out of the way. Ida would now be floating, and he would use his engines to get closer to the wall, be the stop sign, and she would yell for everyone to stop. As Ida would be like, it's just a press outside. Everyone look, damn, I'm stuttering way too hard. But yeah, Ida would do the same shit as Kanen, just with the help of Izuku. That's why when Izuku would tell Ida that he should be president, because he took leadership, Ida would say no, because he wouldn't have been able to do it without Izuku's help. It's funny. Right now my TV's loading through a bunch of things because it's paused, and the thing that's just appeared on screen is Sonic 2. Fucking hilarious. But anyway, Ida and Izuku, they would basically reconcile, as Izuku would say, the class president. Now we would move on. The very next day, it's time for the USJ bars. The day would go completely normal until I'm pretty sure it's like in the morning time when Aizawa would tell them that they're going on a field trip. Everyone would be excited as they will all be notified that they're going to the USJ and that they should take their hero outfits or their hero costumes. Outfit, costume, same fucking difference. Izuku, of course, would have his outfit, like I said, the type of material on his shoes that I'm pretty sure it said in the show, or in the Flash shows, that it has something to do with friction. The same material as Flash boots. I said that in the last part. So they don't burn up whenever he runs. All his clothes. I realized that all his clothes would need to be the same, or they're gonna burn up. But it's only Izuku. Well, yeah, it's Izuku's entire goddamn body. So yeah, so Izuku's entire clothing will just be a really light, soft, and comfortable and movable, unflammable clothing. I mean, they cannot catch on fire, and they do good with intense friction. Boom. But anyway, while they're on the bus, people will start asking questions on who's the strongest in the class, who's this, that, and the third, other things like that. Now, majority people would start saying people like Izuku, Hatsuki, and Todoroki, of course. But then at some point, Izuku will also bring up Ida. Ida, when he uses a certain move called Reciprocal Burst, where he uses all the energy in his engines, can be about as fast as Izuku when he runs at his top speed. And Ida can do multiple shots of these type of bursts. So honestly, if Ida truly wanted to, Ida could do multiple shots of the Reciprocal Burst and be as fast as him. But the only main factor is that Ida does not have as much as control as Izuku when he's running at that type of speed. So Izuku can be running as fast as almost even faster as at Ida when he's using Reciprocal Burst and still be able to twist and turn. Ida will only be able to go straight forward and will basically have to drift to turn. So he would run, he would turn to his side, use his feet to stop himself while skidding across the ground, and then proceed to run forward again. Izuku could just zip by and through tunnels like it was easy. But Ida would still be up there, and also Ida's kicks are hella vicious. Izuku would I don't think Izuku would say hella. I don't know. But Izuku would just explain it that type of way. Ida's almost as fast as when he uses reciprocal burst, and his kicks are very powerful. He would definitely be up there on the scale of the strongest in the class. People would start discussing their quirks, how they work, blah blah blah, until Izuku's quirk would end up getting brought up on how it works. Izuku would simply tell him that his quirk, Sonic Boom, allows him to, which allows him naturally, which is a mutation quirk, naturally allows him to be extremely fast. But only when he uses his quirk is something similar to Ida's reciprocal burst. He likes to call it a Sonic Boom. He basically gets a sudden burst of speed, which moves him faster than almost faster than sound. Which everyone would be shocked at this revelation. But then after this point, I feel like Sato, which is Tape Guy, would probably bring up the fact on how Ida's and Izuku's quirks are so similar, but so different. Like how Izuku has basically the same aspect of Ida's quirk. He's naturally fast when he's not doing his little burst thing, but they both have a certain boost. But Izuku's a hedgehog-like thing that can have a spin dash, and Ida's able to use his engines to rush forward as a kick. But Izuku's a hedgehog. Ida's a basic person. How does that work? Would Ida also have basically the same quirk? As this one, Izuku and Ida would both sort of pause and look at each other. And then after that, Izuku would simply just look forward at Sato and simply say that they share the same father, but not the same mother. As this would clear things up. As this would clear things up for them. But then at this point, Sato would also ask, well, if that's the case, what's your mom's quirk? And after that, Izuku would simply just say hedgehog. She has the aspects and the type. She's basically a hedgehog. She's a blue hedgehog. Her family. No. Her family had very light blue hair. That's why my hair is lighter than Ida's. Because she had light blue hair with a mixture of Ida's dark blue, it just made mine's a sort of mixture tint. As they were all like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And then finally, a very large question would be brought up. As Sato would also ask, Sato would basically ask Ida, has he ever, how is Izuku's mom? Is she nice? Is she kind? Things of that sort. As this is when Izuku would sort of look at Sato like, okay. No, it wouldn't be like, I don't think it would be like that. Izuku would basically, hold on. Never mind. Izuku would almost basically be like fed up with Sato asking so many questions. So Izuku would just simply say, why are you asking Ida all these questions? Just ask me if you want to really know. As Sato would sort of get the sense that Izuku was sort of upset no, Sato was getting the feeling that Izuku was getting upset that he's asking so many questions. So he would say, it's his bed and he'll stop asking so much. As Izuku would simply just sink down in his seat as the bus would continue until they finally would get to the USJ. When they would get to the USJ, the same thing would happen. They get inside, 13 starts talking, Uraraka says on how 13 is their favorite hero. After this point, they would get inside, 13 would be explaining on how all quirks are dangerous no matter how they work. Then the portal will open in the middle of the thing, the villains will walk out, the normal will be shown, Kirigiri would show up behind all the students, Ida would still get out, Izuku would be worried for Ida Izuku, no, not Ida would be worried for Izuku because Izuku's now trapped. Izuku would tell Ida to go, that he'll be all right and he'll see him later. And then now everyone's split up. Izuku would still be in the water zone, and as soon as he's underwater, Izuku, just like Sonic, is shit at swimming. So as soon as Izuku's underwater, he's sort of scrambling around, scared. He sees a fish monster coming towards him. Tsuyu kicks it, grabs Izuku, swims out of the water. Izuku would begin, like, he would pounce at Tsuyu and start hugging her. Thank you. Tsuyu would be very weirded out by Izuku, as Izuku would realize on what he's doing, as he will quickly let go and stand up. Seeing Mineta also on the boat as well. Mineta would be crying, as Izuku would just tell him to shut up, and Izuku would just simply tell him to shut up and stop whining so much. As Mineta's just saying, we're gonna die. But anyway, Izuku would look over the side of the boat and see all the sea villains waiting for them. After this point, Izuku would simply just sit back and begin to think on what's going on. Izuku would figure out the same thing as canon, that they don't have any real type of plan. They sent Tsuyu, the girl with the frog quirk, to a water zone. So they obviously don't know what any of their quirks are or how they work. And they also said that they're here to kill All Might. So that means they probably don't really have a plan, and they're just here to just, as they think that little big black thing could just simply wipe All Might off the face of the planet. So if that's the case, then they should probably avoid that thing as much as possible, or try to take it out. And that's when Mineta would be like, take it out? There's no way that we could. It's strong enough to be All Might. Izuku would say, well, it's worth giving a shot, right? But first, we need to get out of this situation. As Izuku would stand up and stretch his legs side to side, he would he would just stretch his legs. After that point, he would sort of stand over the side of the boat and then just jump into the air. While he would jump into the air, he would start doing he would curl up into a ball and begin spinning, turning into a spin ball. As when this would happen, Izuku would go straight down and begin moving forward across the water, zipping forward. It's almost like a tire, like a tire screeching, it will fall down, screech across the water, and then zip forward. While Izuku was moving across the water, he would quickly unball himself and begin running around, taking out villains. So it would be boom, boom. Actually, no. Any villains that were above water, Izuku would just be running around, kicking them across their head, effectively knocking them out. But rest of them, after 5 villains would get knocked out, they will all go underwater. And this is when Izuku would begin spinning in a circle across the water top, creating a whirlpool where all the villains will be getting sucked in. While Izuku was running, he would tell Tsuyu to grab Mineta, jump into the air, and they would tell Mineta to start throwing his purple balls in to basically stick all the villains together. As this would basically go as effective as it did in canon, Izuku would basically be making a whirlpool. Tsuyu would jump in the air, Mineta would throw his balls, and they will all get stuck together. While they're falling to the ground and while Izuku was spinning, Izuku would run over and catch them last second, as he would basically be running, as he would still be running across water. While Izuku was running, he would see Aizawa is badly injured. So what he would do, he would run over to the stairs, and he would sit down Mineta and Tsuyu. He would tell both of them that he's gonna go help Aizawa, and they need to stay there. And he's gonna bring Aizawa to them, and when he does, both of them should go up. Both of them are to go up the steps. Before any of them could ask questions, Izuku would basically disappear as he would run over, grab Aizawa faster than the Nomu, even Shigaraki could realize, and then he would run back over and drop off Aizawa. Tsuyu and Mineta, not really knowing what to do with Izuku, they would just simply listen as they would do what Izuku tell them and take Aizawa up the steps. After a little while, Izuku would run in front of the Nomu, as he would basically say, "Oh, come on, big guy, take a swing at me." Shigaraki sort of looking confident, with a smirk on his face, and tell the Nomu to kill that kid. as the Nomu would rush forward and swing at Izuku, as Izuku would simply just vanish. As then the Nomu would feel a weight on top of his head, as Izuku was just sitting on top of his head. Like, where are you grabbing at? Like where are you grabbing at? Or no, yeah, where are you swinging? After that, the Nomu would sort of try to grab Izuku on top of his head, and then, damn, shit, I'm stuttering. Then the Nomu would try to grab Izuku on the top of his head, as Izuku would again vanish. Izuku would now be right next to Shigaraki, as he would whisper in his ear, "Did you get him? Did he get him?" Shigaraki would turn around confused, as Izuku would again zip away. It would then again zip away right in front of the Nomu. The Nomu would swing again, as Izuku would again vanish behind the Nomu, having his arms folded and tapping on one foot. And after that, he would look at his wrist, almost making it look like an imaginary watch, saying, "You're not damn." As he would basically be like, "I'm waiting. Come on, are you gonna hit me or what?" After that, the Nomu would turn around, swing again, and Izuku would basically be just running in circles around the fucking Nomu. The Nomu would not be able to touch Izuku at all. And during this entire time, he would just be messing with the Shigaraki and the Nomu. And Shigaraki would get expeditiously pissed off. Would get expeditiously pissed off as he would run towards Izuku and try to grab him himself. The dumbest thing Shigaraki's ever done. Izuku would just dodge out of the way and just punch Shigaraki across the face, sending him faster than Shigaraki could realize, leaving Shigaraki in a daze. Then running forward, and then Izuku would run forward and sort of just kick Shigaraki in the stomach. What the hell? Oh. Kicking Shigaraki in the stomach, sort of messing him up. After that, kicking Shigaraki in the stomach, messing him up. After that, the Nomu realizing that it sort of just let Shigaraki get hit, it would run over and try to grab Izuku, try to swing at Izuku. Izuku would disappear, and as soon as Izuku would disappear, the Nomu would have grabbed Shigaraki, lifted him up, and took him over to Kirigiri and sat him down. As the Nomu would turn around, as it would, I guess, be visibly angry, almost, because it sort of just failed its job, and Izuku has now hit it, so now it's aggressive. As Shigaraki would just look up and tell the Nomu to kill him, catch him, and bring him to me. So now the Nomu is just now wasting its time, trying to just grab Izuku. At some point, Izuku would do the thing that Goku did to Nappa, like how he tried to hit him, and then Izuku just landed on top of his head. That would be a thing. Izuku will sort of be leaning on the Nomu whenever he would miss. He would just be taunting him the entire time. And then at some point, some of the like Kirishima, Todoroki, Bakugo would try to interfere, but some students would tell Izuku that he's just holding it off. So they shouldn't really interfere because that might mess up Izuku. Right now, he has not only Shigaraki, but the Nomu completely distracted, not only from Aizawa, but from all of them. So they should just sit up here, let Izuku do his thing until Ida gets back with the heroes. After some time, this plan pretty much falls through. As after a little while of Shigaraki getting ridiculously upset that the Nomu can't catch Izuku just running around the Nomu, and the Nomu constantly getting taunted, Ida would eventually get back with the but the heroes, and as soon as this would happen, Kirigiri would tell Shigaraki that they had to go. Shigaraki would sadly comply, as him and Kirigiri would leave away. As soon as the heroes would get here, All Might would, of course... All Might would get there as well. So, shit, yeah, by the time Izuku would be taunting it, All Might would still get there earlier. Exactly. He would beat the dog shit out of the Nomu, then the heroes would get there. My apologies. Messed it up a little bit. But anyway, All Might would still beat it the same way. Izuku would actually still Izuku would end up running back to the top, seeing Ida there. Ida would run over to Izuku, ask him if he's okay. Izuku would be completely fine. Everybody else would also be okay, and then they would just move on. Should I end it off here? Yeah. How about the sports? Yeah, I'm gonna go for the first two parts of the sports festival: the cavalry battle and the running and the race. So it would be the next day. They would get a day off. Of course. The next day it would be the sports festival. They would go on the sports festival, and now it's time for them to do it. So they will all be in their clothing. They will also have some problems with Class 1B as well. But anyway, besides that, right. So Class 1A and everyone else are walking out and standing in a row in front of the entire crowd of people. Class 1B, 1C, general studies, support group. They will all be there. And then at some point, one kid, Monoma, will end up walking up to Izuku and placing his hand on his shoulder. As Izuku would turn his head to look at Monoma. You're from Class 1A, right? Izuku would say, yeah, whatever. As Monoma would basically just say something random like, you and your class are so arrogant that I bet you all think that you're better than everyone else. Izuku would sort of look confused. This would be something genuine that Monoma would be saying, but he used it as a way to like get Izuku's quirk. Because no matter how you look at it, the quirk of your entire body moving at the speed of sound. So actually, I don't think Monoma can copy mutation quirk, so wreck on that. He would just be talking shit. And after some point, Izuku would just brush Monoma off as he would be, he would be called up to give up a speech. Izuku would look like around him, like as All Might would say, Izuku Ida. Izuku would sort of pause, look side to side, like, Tenya Ida? She said, "No, it's you, Izuku." Izuku would sort of like blush as he would look nervous as hell. As Ida, Uraraka, and Mina will all be encouraging Izuku to go up. Encouraging Izuku to go up. Ida would push Izuku forward, as Izuku would sort of be nervously walking up the steps. Izuku would stand in front of the mic and he would just take a deep breath, smile. Hello everyone. That's Izuku. I'm Izuku Tenya. I'm not Izuku Ida. I would like to say for you all to do your best. And yeah. Izuku would be awkward in this situation, but people would still clap because he even had the balls to even do it. So it would just be silent, awkward, but they would just move on from it. It would just be like majority laughs in the crowd. But anyway. Oh, fuck. Anyway. Now it's time for the actual start of the, the race. So now they're all getting set up inside of the room. Izuku has to wear his shoes from his hero costume because he's either just going to completely disintegrate the shoes that he has on. And also probably the clothes on his body. So what Izuku has to do to avoid like complete friction, he would had to like roll up his UA sports uniform up to his knees, like a little bit up his knee, and then take off his UA sports uniform jacket and wrap it around his waist, or just completely take it off. Same difference. Either way, he's going to be wearing his black tank top under, and he would basically have on UA uniform curled up pants above his knee. So anyway, to avoid us burning the uniform as much as possible. But also Monoma would not even know what the first test is, so he wouldn't take Izuku's quirk. So Possibly no. Anyway, it would be announced that the first test is a race. Izuku would get giddy as hell as he now realizes he's about to dominate. So Izuku would stretch his legs, of course, and then get in a running position with Ida right next to him. With Ida right next to him and right in front of the gates. As while Ida's right there doing the same stretches as Izuku, and he will also get in the same position, Izuku would basically look over at Ida as he would say he bets. They're rich, yeah, they're rich. So he would say that he bets 3,000 yen that he'll beat Ida. Ida wouldn't be fond of quote unquote gambling, but he would still say, all right then, that's a good enough deal. 3,000. Izuku and Ida would both outstretch their arms and shake their hands and get back in their running position. After this point, the gates would open and everyone would run off. At the start of it, Izuku and Ida would run as fast as they can, but this would end up messing them up as they would both slip on ice that Todoroki made. They would both slip on ice, but Izuku and Ida will both quickly get back up. It's not, yeah. No, exactly, no. Todoroki was in front, he ran forward, created ice, and it was like Kirishima, Bakugo, and Momo that all like jumped over it. So yeah, I'm gonna say that not Ida, I'm gonna say that Izuku would sort of be like skating on the ice, and Ida would also just like stand on top of it, like how he was with the ropes. So he would just stand over top of it and use his engines to boost him forward. But now everyone's actually running and now everyone's racing. While they're running, Izuku would quickly catch up to Todoroki, running past him. Also, Izuku would be Naruto running, like how Sonic does in all of his games. He would have his arms back and be running forward. But anyway, while this is happening, Ida will also be quickly pushing up to Todoroki as well, along with Bakugo. But Izuku would be the one in first. While Izuku was running, he would dash forward. He would see one of the 0-pointer robots in front of him. Izuku would dash forward. Izuku would dash forward and use his sonic boom to jump up towards the robot. He would morph into his ball form and then completely bust through the robot's head. And after that, while he's still gaining air, he would sort of unmorph from his ball form and start doing tricks and flips in the air until he would land on the ground and continue running. Now, also, something else. Mina will also not be that far behind. She would be around like 10th place because I feel like she would take inspiration from Izuku and use her acid to sort of move faster, I guess you could say. It's basically just inspiration from Izuku. She does the same thing in canon, but it's the main inspiration from Izuku. But anyway, it would still be the same thing. So while Izuku was running in first place, Todoroki, I would say Ida right behind him, Bakugo next to him, and Todoroki next to Bakugo. So Ida's right now currently in 4th place. And Todoroki and Bakugo are fighting for 2nd, and Izuku is in 1st. Now while they're all running, they will quickly come to the rope zone. As Izuku sees this as sort of like, oh yes, this is so fun. So while Izuku was running, he would end up jumping forward and landing on one of the pillars of rocks and jumping on to the other one, and then the other, and then the other, and then the other. So it'd just be boom, 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 boom. Well, and while this is happening, Izuku would even do like some tricks on like he would see one long rope. He would jump from one rock to the other rock. Then he would continue running. He would run across the long ass rope. And then he would like turn to his side like he's skateboarding and then just skeet across the rope. He would like do a front flip from one rock pillar onto the other rope, do another weird cool trick. He would just be flexing the entire time. After that, they would go to the landmine zone. This is when Izuku and Ida knew that this was going to be problematic for them. So, also by this point, Todoroki has fallen to third. Ida Todoroki has fallen to third place. Ida is catching up with Todoroki, so Ida and Todoroki are in third. Katsuki and Bakugo is in second, and Izuku is still in first. I don't know how the fuck Katsuki or even Todoroki managed to do that for that long. Constant explosion which propel you through the air like that, which hurts your bones for that long, and then to stay next to ice, constantly producing it for that long. Come on now, plot armor. But anyway, I feel like maybe like Uraraka would try the explosion thing, but even then, I don't think even then she would even present. No, I would say Mina would try the thing that Izuku did. Whenever she would got to the landmine zone, she would gather up all the bombs, hit them with a piece of metal of the robot, and then jump launch forward. Nah, I don't even think she would do that. I know she would do that, but she wouldn't get as far as Izuku. She would do that. She would get about as far. She would be almost there using her slime quirk. But after this point, Izuku would be too worried that Mina was gonna catch up, and his body would begin to glow as he would use his sonic boom. Ida would realize this as he would also use his reciprocal burst. As blue flames would come out of Ida's engines, and Izuku would glow blue as a blue shockwave would be behind Izuku when he would run, and Ida would just move forward. While Izuku and Ida are basically moving at the same speed towards Mina, Katsuki and Bakugo would be left in their dust and continue forward as they would continue forward. Now as reciprocal burst works, it's a short burst of speed. Izuku's sonic boom is similar, but it's more like it's a speed boost until you slow down. So it's almost like if Izuku were to run 100 miles and use a sonic boom, he wouldn't like speed forward and then slow down. He would speed forward and continue to speed forward. So it's like almost like a boost in speed or energy, basically. So Ida would gradually slow down while Izuku would keep moving forward, and he would blow past Mina and get into the arena first. And that's where I'm gonna end this off. I feel like this part was really long, but why not, right? So, hope you all have a nice day. I'll be doing a few other what ifs today, maybe, but hope you all have a nice day. Like, subscribe. Might get a mic soon, possibly. I might get better at communicating and talking. And that's all.